All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin our program. On behalf of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation, we thank you for joining us to celebrate 3 anniversaries. The 72nd year of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Corps, the 36th anniversary of the Reserve Foundation, and 150 years since the official beginning of the Los Angeles Police Department. Honored guests, please stand for the posting of the colors by the Los Angeles Police Department Honor Guard, our national anthem sung by Reserve Officer Darla Cozzarelli, and the invocation by Reserve Police Chaplain Henry Ellis.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rattling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right? Hey. Forward.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the reserve police officers, various personnel and their families, for their service, going above and beyond in so many extraordinary and wonderful ways. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for your continual divine wisdom and guidance in every area of our beloved Reserve Corps. Heavenly Father, protect us as we protect and serve the communities of the city of Los Angeles and one another. Heavenly Father, accept not only the prayer of this chaplain, but the prayers of everyone who is praying with me for the success of our beloved LAPD Reserve Corps. Amen.
Please be seated.
They were brave. They stayed brave through all the bloodshed of coming years. Their courage created a nation built on a universal claim to human dignity, on the proposition that every man, woman, and child In your careers and the way you've lived your lives, you've all said no, a most emphatic no to mediocrity, to averageness, to timidity. You've said no to the rules of the game, the regulations of the day. You've said no to conventional wisdom, no to the merely adequate, no to the limits and limitations on yourselves and others. You're all originals. You've all made America better, a better place, and you've made it seem a better place in the eyes of the people of the world.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So you kind of wanted to ready to testify. What do you do now? I don't know how to do anything else. Here we go.
Being a police officer is an endless, glamorous, thankless job that's got me now. And I'm damn glad to be one.
You feel like a hero?
What's the hero feeling?
I don't know, man.
Wanna know what you're looking at?
Us.
The LAPD.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
I got a history there.
Have it any way you want. Understand?
I know this is a difficult thing to do. I think we can handle it, though.
If you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
This way you belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the co-presidents of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation, Mrs. Carla Amundsen and Reserve Officer Michael Sellers.
Hi everybody, welcome tonight. A few weeks ago, we had a reserve inspection with Chief of Police Michael Moore. And there was something remarkable about that day. And we see it here tonight. Our command staff, our veteran reserve officers, tell me if I'm wrong, but we kind of all grew up together. Yeah? We've been classmates, we've been partners. It's a story that includes reserve officers who've gone full-time. 3 of my classmates are now captains. It's a story that includes full-time officers who, after serving, have retired and continue to serve in the Corps. I'll tell you something. When you look at that history video, at this time, at this place, the Reserve Corps is part of the foundation of the LAPD. It is, right? Pull away at that thread, you have a different department, don't you? Take away the accomplishments of Jim Lombardi, who are honoring here tonight. You would have a totally different police department. Now, many have come before us, and tonight, this past year, we have lost 2 of the members of our family. Reserve Police Officer Gary Becker, West Traffic, Kathy and his fellow reserve officers are here tonight, and retired specialist Joey Castro, who worked 77th Division for about 10 years until he had to retire for medical conditions. If we might have just a moment of silence for these 2 people. Rest in peace, Gary, and Joseph. We stand on your shoulders tonight. Now, the job of the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation is to serve all of you, and by definition, the families that are here tonight and give so much of themselves. The initiatives that we've had, the scholarship, done. 3, this is our 3rd year in a row. The legal defense plan, done. This is the 2nd year in a row. We're doing some extra training. Thank you, Assistant Chief B. Grimaud. Our recruitment, you probably have seen our billboards and our bulletin boards. And then also, right hot off the press, Jim McLaughlin, where are you? There you are. When you retire after 20 years of service, you ought to be recognized. Jim is working on the city resolution. He's a director of our board, and he's working on the procedures so that when you honorably retire after 20 years, you're going to get honored by the city council. I would like our board of directors to stand wherever you are. If you could stand and let yourself be known. And look, we could not do this without Chief of Police Michael Moore, without the command staff, including Assistant Chief B. Grimaud, Commander Gerald Woodyard, and Captain Aaron Ponce. Thank you. As you might have guessed, as you might have noticed, we're sold out tonight. So we have a king in the audience, and we have many heroes. Now what Carl and I want to do is we want to thank our twice the citizens. David Fleming, you know, when I first read your resume, I'm like, holy mackerel, that is one long service to the city of Los Angeles. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. Nathan Fillion. Alexi Holly. And everybody here from the TV show The Rookie. Listen, The Rookie speaks to the heart of the Reserve Corps, of our Reserve officers. And there's 170 tonight. Nathan's character could be so many of you in the room. And you're going to hear these stories. Alexi, Nathan, you're going to hear these stories. We're probably going to need a whole lot of episodes to talk about some of these. To that end, I'm going to ask our Reserve officers to stand. But before we do, we have another very special guest in the audience tonight. He was in the first line class in 1967. Okay, line class is also known as level 1 today. The first class. He went on to serve for 35 years in 77th Division, Hollenbeck, and Hollywood. His serial number, you ready? His serial number, R00006. Gary, I can't see what the lights are over there. Stand up and stand. All right. He precedes 007, as you may have noticed. All right. Now we would like to have our Reserve officers and members of the Corps, including specialists, to stand. I just want to personally thank Hollywood Division and West Bureau for the honor that they've given me tonight. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce to you my co-president, my partner, my friend, co-president Carl Thomas.
Thank you, Michael. So in case you were wondering, you all noticed that we had the stormtroopers outside and Darth Vader. In case you didn't know, today was declared Star Wars Day in California, so they stopped by to declare May 4th be with you. All right, it's not only Star Wars Day. Speaking for all of us vertically challenged folks in the room, it's also National Proud and Petite Day. So it's my job to introduce the host this evening. And before I do that, my apologies to the teleprompter guy for going off the script, but just roll with it for me, please. And because I'm a mom, I need to do some nagging and some house cleaning real quick before we get started. It's really wonderful to see a full house, and incredible that we sold out. Reserves matter, and the attendance here tonight proves that. So remember to RSVP early directly to the events office next year. Now, don't our tables look fabulous? I would like to thank Kelly and Brian McClary for your tremendous hard work in making our tables look this beautiful. Now, Michael already introduced our board members a few moments ago, but these guys are going to get really mad at me here, especially Mr. Ferrero there, our treasurer. And if I don't talk to you about the envelopes on your table, they're in the center. You see them there? Don't pretend you don't see them. All right, here we go. Now, last year, we raised $10,000 in those envelopes. That amount was matched by a generous donor. And this year, we absolutely want to exceed that amount. You're going to help us do it, right? We can do it. With your help, no matter what, the Reserve Corps is being strengthened by new recruits, and the expense of college is being eased, and of course, the recognition of your value with tonight's banquet. So please be generous with these envelopes. Because of that matching donation, we were able to double our scholarship funds, and you'll meet all 4 of our college scholarship recipients in just a little bit. All right, now my main job, introducing the host. And even though, I think you did a really good job last year as co-host with only 48 hours notice, I say without a hint of bias, I'm not going to introduce my handsome husband, Bill. Nope. Instead, there you go. It's a pleasure to introduce 2 wonderful talents who said yes without hesitation when we asked to guide us through this evening. He is a former professional hockey player with the Washington Capitals, Toronto Maple Leafs, and from 1981 to 1985, our Los Angeles Kings. 13 registered points and 11 career playoff games, all with the Kings. And for the last 20 seasons, he is the voice of the Kings, Mr. Darrell Evans. She was a regular on the critically acclaimed Brooklyn Bridge and picket fences, along with recurring roles in several other television series. But today, she stars as LAPD Lieutenant Grace Billets in the 5th season of Bosch, set in the famed Hollywood division. I know you guys are right over there. This series just gets better and better and is so highly anticipated in our household. Please, let's give a rousing reserve welcome to Amy Aquino and Darrell Evans.
Good evening. It's so exciting to be here. I was so honored to be asked to come. These things are, this obviously this, the LAPD has a very important, special place in my heart, and but I've never been to one of these events, and it's always a little bit nerve-wracking. You're asked, and nervous, you know, what should I say, what should I wear, and because I'm the least informed person in America regarding athletics, or as you call them, sports, I had no idea who Daryl Evans was, so I got online and having spent about 60 seconds online, I realized that I didn't have to worry about what I was going to wear because either on the ice or in front of a full mirror, you don't ever want to try to compete with Daryl. Okay, you just stand back, just let him do his thing.
First time I was ever been asked what I'm going to be wearing today.
Yeah, I did. I called him and we had a conversation about it because I knew that we could actually clash badly. Typically, women don't have to worry about that in an event like this. And within 60 seconds, he had texted me 10 different jackets, all along these lines. So I just laid down my weapon, threw my hands up in the air, and said, "I surrender."
And she said, wear it.
Yeah, and I did tell him to wear the blue, however. Blue is always appropriate for the LAPD. So tonight we're recognizing 72 years of the LAPD Reserve Corps and honoring the body and the spirit of the Corps. We're here to recognize the Reserve police officers and volunteers who support the LAPD with many thousands of hours each of their time each year, patrolling the streets, supporting almost every division within the department, and saving the city millions of dollars each year. Later in our program, you can hear about each of tonight's winners. Reserve Officer of the Year has been chosen for each division, plus a bureau winner for each of the 5 bureaus, and 1 overall Reserve Officer of the Year chosen by the Chief and Command Staff. Now, we're also going to be paying tribute to 3 outstanding citizens: David Fleming, Nathan Fillion, and Alexi Hawley, and ABC's The Rookie.
When I heard about the reserve program, I was so amazed at what each one of these individuals do. So to give so many hours to the city without getting paid, it's really an amazing feat, an amazing chore. Many of them 20, 30, 40 years of service. You have the gratitude of every person in this room and many outside of this room that you'll never be able to even come in contact with. So again, we thank you for that. As a taxpayer, we thank you for your commitment that saves the city of Los Angeles millions of dollars a year. We have a number of guests with us tonight who came out to show their support for the Reserve Corps, as we'd like to introduce them to you. From the Los Angeles Police Department, Chief of Police, Michael Moore. Assistant Chief, Beatrice Gamal. Assistant Chief, John Peters. Assistant Chief, Robert Arcos. Deputy Chief, Justin Eisenberg. Deputy Chief, Dennis Cato. Deputy Chief, Horace Frank. Deputy Chief, Regina Scott. Commanders, Gerald Woodyard and Mark Reyna. Administrator, Gloria Gube. Former Assistant Chief, Sandy Jo MacArthur. And several LAPD commanders and captains from all divisions. President of the Los Angeles Police Commission, Steve Soboroff.
Of course, we have tonight's honorees. We have philanthropist, business leader, David Fleming. Star and executive producer of The Rookie and star of Castle, among others, Nathan Fillion. Writer, creator, and executive producer of The Rookie, Alexi Hawley. And several members of the cast, Richard T. Jones, Titus Macon, Eric Javier Esposito Castle, John Huertas. Actor, EMT, and Reserve Officer Bobby Sherman. Actor, producer, and board member of the Reserve Foundation, Brian Cassidy. And we have a real dignitary tonight, as was mentioned. We have the King of Bezu, Cameroon, and I'm hoping I get this right because I asked. Kemaju Jua Vincent. His Majesty Kemaju Jua Vincent, sorry. There is one announcement we'd like to make. There are 2 great door prizes tonight. One of which is just for reserve officers in attendance. A great gift certificate to La Prague, okay? And one for every person in attendance, including non-reserve officers, which is a fabulous 55-inch smart TV. But you must be present at the end of the night to take these prizes home. So no sneaking out. Last year, we had to go to the third person, so make sure you stick around. We are going to keep this moving. Be here, please, to honor all these officers tonight.
All right, remember, you cannot leave early. You gotta stay the way to the end of the game. Anybody that follows hockey, you know what I mean. All right, at this time, I'd like to ask all reserve officers receiving your pins tonight for your years of service, from 20 years to 50 years, please check in with CODD in the reception lobby. All reserve officers receiving your pins, please head to the lobby now. Please. We are happy to introduce the 2019 Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation Emeritus College Scholarship winners. Carla and Michael have nice envelopes for each of you. Asaturi Akopian, a Level 3 Reserve Officer assigned to the Topanga Division, attending Cal State Northridge, majoring in criminal justice. Darla Cozzarelli, a Level 3 Reserve Officer assigned to West Valley Division, starting USC in the fall, pursuing a master's in social work. Dalton Harvey, son of a Reserve Officer Thomas Harvey, starting Cal State Long Beach this fall, majoring in criminal justice. And Fazil Rashid, a Level 3 Reserve Officer assigned to Counterterrorism and Special Operations Bureau, pursuing his Master's of Science in Neuroimaging and Informatics at USC. These scholarships were created by the Reserve Foundation to show their appreciation for the reserve officers and their families for the time and tremendous commitment to their community. Congratulations to all of you.
I'm so sorry. I know our time is limited, but these brief sentences really do not at all convey how impressive our scholarship candidates really are. The scholarship program is becoming really difficult for the Reserve Foundation. The excellence of the candidates makes selections very challenging. This is a fantastic problem to have. Again, I will make a pitch right now for you to complete those envelopes right in front of you. With that money, we are able to support the scholars, right, please folks, that are in front of you. Please be generous. They truly are unbelievably impressive. From working 2 jobs, going to school, being reserve officers, to Rashid developing a new computer program for the counterterrorism unit, it's unbelievable. Let's give them another hand. All right, when we break for dinner, our reserve officers and volunteers are going to stop by and pick up those envelopes. Please feel free to be generous, or you can give them directly to me if they don't come to your table in time. I'm right up front here. Just seek me out. Lots of money in those envelopes, please. Take it away.
Absolutely. And anybody gives me an envelope, or Daryl, we will sign one for you as well. Okay? For the next award, we have a very special guest presenter. She is the Director, Office of Special Operations, and oversees 2 bureaus, Counterterrorism and Special Operations Bureau, and the Transit Services Bureau, which in short means that it includes basically everything from major crimes, metro and air support, to all the traffic enforcement, including the MTA, and she oversees a community engagement group, which includes the reserve program, among many other things. I don't know how she does it. Please welcome Assistant Chief Beatrice Gamala.
It is genuinely a pleasure to be here with you tonight. For two reasons, and you'll see those very shortly. Love of work and love of family. Dedication beyond measure. Cherished partner. Undercover officer. Vice officer. Beloved father. Altar boy. Yeah, I bet you're wondering who this is. Do you for a curve there? Restaurateur. Someone who just showed up. This describes this huge list. The next recipient of a very special award, the Andrea Friedman Award. Let me tell you a little bit about the award before we go ahead and spill the beans on who this magnificent and well-deserving recipient is tonight. Andrea Friedman, as many of you may recall, worked as a reserve officer for over 22 years in the Pacific area and served faithfully for 15 years on the reserve board. Not every year is the Andrea Friedman Award given out, but it has been since 2013. It takes a special person with special qualities to have their name associated with Andrea, her spirit which is alive here in the room tonight. So let me share the serial number of this recipient, see if that gives you another clue. R0047. Hiring date, October 19th, 1969. 50 years of distinguished service, most of it at Central Division. Anybody know who I'm talking about yet? We'll get there. I'll share a little something else. A wonderful man with a great sense of humor, and we'll get to that a little bit. Also someone who worked with me when I was a watch commander at Central Division, and he was there so often, I had no idea he was a reserve until I had to approve a report that he wrote, and I saw R0047 in the officer reporting box. An icon, a treasure. His philosophy that he shares with younger officers coming on the job, facing stresses that many of us also have experiences, but some can only imagine. He said, laugh, smile. Those are the secrets to getting through a beautiful and rewarding career in law enforcement and the LAPD. So treasured is Jim Lombardi to the LAPD. Let's give him a round of applause. So treasured is Jim Lombardi to the LAPD. The only group that beats us is his beautiful family. And Lisa, his wonderful daughter who I met, who has participated in the writing of a beautiful book called A Sense of Humor that actually chronicles the life of Jim and some of his escapades, both as a wonderful restaurateur down at 7th and Flower years back, where he met police officers who convinced him that this is something in which he should become involved. So if you want to buy the book, I'll tell you, I'll plug it. It's on Amazon. It's $18. Let's not be cheap. Let's go ahead and help support the cause here. When we talk about dedication, Jim defines it. and it is absolutely a privilege and honor for me to ask Jim Lombardi to join me here on the stage and be recognized as the latest recipient of the Andrea Friedman Award.
More than a few words are necessary, but tough guys aren't supposed to cry. And this is very tough for me, and it's a beautiful award, and I appreciate everything all of you have done, the reserve officers. You've done a great job, and you have to keep doing it. And like the chief said, humor, you have to smile. It's tough sometimes, especially right now for me, but like I say, tough guys aren't supposed to cry, and I'm doing it. Thank you.
I'm humbled to be asked to make a very special presentation tonight, a Lifetime Achievement Award that could not be going to a more deserving individual. I'm proud to say that the person receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award happened to be also a cherished partner of mine, who worked with me in a black and white in an A-car in Hollywood area in the mid-90s. He came on in 1994, distinguished himself as someone who worked the field for over 12 years. Patrol, answering radio calls for service, working task forces, and being so ever present that the only way most officers in a busy Hollywood division could ever see a TO, an extra day off, was if a reserve could come and work in their place. If not, the watch commander said, hey, you know what, go find a reserve. If not, no deal. Can't do it. We're going to fall short. We're going to drop a car. And this man worked in my place so often, unselfishly. Also, we had an occasion, a night in Hollywood, I believe it was in 1995, where we were dealing with a life-threatening situation, one that actually ended up in the death of the suspect. And who was my partner? Mike Sellers. It was on that night that a very, very powerful message was sent to the naysayers who may have thought in some ignorant way that a reserve officer just wasn't quite the caliber of a regular Los Angeles police officer. Well, Mike Sellers left those naysayers in the dust, and I'm proud to say he was my partner. Years later, when I returned as a sergeant in Hollywood area, I had the pleasure of working with Mike yet again. And he was seen as a leader, as a trendsetter, showing people that a commitment to working in operations was something of which he should be extremely proud. Mike furthered his service to the department by taking the Rotator newsletter to a whole new level. In 2008, he took that publication under his wing and helped memorialize the great work that the reserves continue to do. How many people out there, by a round of applause, can let me know how they appreciate what goes into that work? That's the chronicle of the history of the reserves, folks, so it's a very, very important publication. In 2009, he became a member of the Reserve Board, and then in 2013, a co-president. In that capacity, he helped to push some very, very unconventional yet critical initiatives forward. The defense plan. How many are glad that they have a defense plan now in this audience? Come on, you know when you need it, you need it. Absolutely. Also, a motion in front of City Council to raise your stipend. Something that hasn't been done in years with the support of our Chief of Police, Michael Moore. When Chief Moore was asked about that, the answer was definitely yes, and I'm sure he wished he could raise that price a whole lot more. But without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce Mike Sellers as my partner, my colleague, my friend, and the recipient today of the Lifetime Achievement Award of 2019 for the Los Angeles Police Reserve Corps.
I had no idea this was going to happen. I'll just be very short. I'm honored, and I cannot imagine a better day or a better night to get an award than to be in front of all of you who are heroes and are my friends, and I love you all, and we have a long night, so I'll end with that. Thank you.
It takes a lot to lead a department of 13,000. It takes something inside of oneself that is unselfish, is strong, is compassionate, and true to the mission and the cause. If you don't love the city of Los Angeles, don't take this job. If you don't love the men and women in uniform, find somewhere else to go. Our 57th Chief of Police, Chief Michael Moore, embodies the qualities of a chief who is committed to taking the Los Angeles Police Department not only into the next decade, but into the next century. Proudly, passionately, and boldly moving where others had not before. During the reorganization process of the department, as Chief Moore took the helm, one of the things he made perfectly clear to me in an early July phone call was that he wanted to see the Reserve Corps reinvigorated and given the prominence it has had in years past. This was not an ask, this was a mandate, and it was conveyed to me with passion, security of purpose, and a commitment to see that the men and women of the LAPD Reserve Corps are honored each and every day in their workplaces and beyond. It is my privilege to introduce to you our Chief of Police, Chief Michael Moore.
Good evening, everyone. It is, thank you, B, for such a generous introduction. So I stand here amongst giants, and I am so pleased to have the honor as my first reserve. It's not my first banquet, but certainly it's my first one as chief. And by the way, I spoke with that other guy, Charlie Beck, a reserve, but also who started his career with LAPD as a reserve, and he sends his best. We're doing double duty tonight. Tonight is the celebration of the 50th anniversary of Robbery Homicide Division. And so Chief Beck is in Glendale at this moment with DA Lacey and others to congratulate the men and women, both past and present, for the service that they've done. But he wanted to make sure that he sent along his best regards. And also let me know that he's going to make up a couple of those shifts that he's promised. Now tonight we've introduced a lot of people, and whenever you do that, you take the peril of missing somebody. Tracy, good to see you. And in doing that, there was 3 people I wanted to. Well, actually, there was one person I wanted to identify, and then 2 other people made sure that their name ended up on this card. But first, Arif Allah Khan is here tonight. He's one of our assistant chiefs over at OCPP. And also a 9-11 reserve. Arif, good to see you here tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the work you do. But I also have on here your wife and your daughter. So Cindy and Haley, if you would please. And then lastly, this is a gentleman I met on the way in tonight, and we all listened to a beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Would you agree? And what that young woman sang about, and the flag that we all salute. We're joined here tonight by a man who was part of that greatest generation who allowed us to be here tonight. And I would like us to raise the lights. And Sydney Maiden, M-A-I-T-E-N. But Sydney is here tonight, and I would like to find him, and let's all give him a hand for his valor, his dedication, his bravery, and the service of this great man. A couple of remarks. We're going to recognize the men and women of this organization who served as reserves for so many decades. But I want to say a couple other remarks before I get there, before we start that. And that is, first of all, to Carla and Michael, your leadership, as well as the members of the Reserve Foundation, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The reserves are an important part of this organization. In our 150th year, this department, more than ever, needs every member of every community of Los Angeles to share with us in this responsibility of how do we police the city, how do we provide for the safety of the city. And reserves, despite our best efforts and trials and tribulations, have not always been a welcome member of that endeavor. Steve Fazio, we're going to get your radios. Because what we recognize is that as we issue you responsibilities and we demand of you your service and that you represent us on and off duty as a member of this great organization, we also are due to you what you need to accomplish those tasks and those responsibilities. And as Chief, I'm proud of the work of Chief Kamala, Commander Woodyer, Captain Ponce, and his men and women, that they're men and women that have gone again at this effort to provide the necessary support, training. The inspections can be a bit of a pain, but the training and development of our people is important to me. It's important to this organization and to the senior leadership that's here tonight, representing all the men and women that are on the street. You are true partners with us as reserves. I thank you and God bless you for that. Lastly, as we celebrate tonight, we say thank you. I also recognize that there are family members here and friends. And our line reserves and volunteers come into this department and they serve in a host of capacities that's needed, and we need to grow and expand. But what they leave behind at home is a son or daughter, husband, wife, friend, colleague that doesn't know what they're doing exactly and worries about them. And while that reserve can come in and work his way or her way through that ordeal, they come home to a family that's just trying to make sure they're safe. And that anxiety and that concern, just know that as chief and as a member of this organization, we thank you for that, for that dedication, for that support, and for that help and assistance so that that reserve, that officer can come back home, can decompress, and get ready for the next day. So to the families, I would ask all of us to give to them our respect, our appreciation, and our thanks. Thank you. And with that, in that I don't have a teleprompter because I told them I didn't want one, I think I'm going to move to the right. And we'll move on with the next portion of this ceremony. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief. And now, Chief, if you will join Officer Johnny Gill. There we are. On the stage, we're going to welcome back Daryl, and we'll start the presentation of the service pins. It's the last time I'm reading the teleprompter. First, we want to be sure that the Reserve Officer winners from the South Bureau, Central Bureau, and West Bureau are heading to the lobby to check in with CODD. Okay? South Bureau, Central Bureau, West Bureau. Please head to the lobby and check in now. You won't miss anything. Don't worry about it. Several of the Reserve officers and volunteers in the audience have now reached a very significant milestone of serving our city for over 20 years in their specific duties. Chief would like to take this opportunity tonight and right now to present them with a special pin for their service.
And first up, we have 7 who are receiving 20-year pins. Wade Danielson, RPO 1, Hollywood. Virginia Hernandez, RPO 3A, Rampart. Todd Orr, RPO 1, West Traffic. Joseph Sava, RPO 1, West LA. Cesar Tarentes, RPO 1, Rampart. And now for 25 years, Dave Bush, RPO 3A, Devonshire. Kai Sayer Dalatashi, RPO 1, Rampart. I hope I didn't do that too bad. Joseph Robinson, RPO 1, West Valley. Jerome Losniak, RPO 2, West LA.
My turn. 30-year pins go to Ellen Kenda, RPO 3, Central Traffic. Brian Kersey, RPO 1, West Traffic. John McCarthy, RPO 1, North Hollywood. And now for 35 years of service. Charles Nagorski, RPO 3A, Training Division. Mark Pillsbury, RPO 3A, Hollywood. Candace Weber, RPO 1, West Valley. And now we have a 40-year pin for Steve Whitelaw, RPO 1, West Valley. And the final 2.
A 45-year pin for Jose Espinoza, RPO 1, Hollenbeck. years of service, Ronald Batesel, RPO 1, West Traffic. And now I hope we have the Reserve Officers of the Year for South Bureau, Central Bureau, and West Bureau backstage to receive our thanks.
Okay, tonight we will be assisting Chief Moore as we recognize the Reserve Officers of the Year, chosen by their division command staff. They will be announced according to Bureau. Now, at the end of the evening, we will honor one Reserve Officer as the LAPD Reserve Officer of the Year for the city, which the foundation has tried to keep as a surprise. So please, no spoilers and no one leave. Okay? Plus, we have those 2 great door prizes for those who stay all the way to the end. And if we are ready to begin, okay, then we'll start with the South Bureau. Take it away, Bureau.
All right, thank you. First up for the South Bureau, Jane Coleman has been a Level 1 Reserve Police Officer for 14 months. After several years with the Marine Corps and their military police in 1983, Coleman returned to Los Angeles and joined the LAPD, remaining for 34 years. And for the last 21 years, he has served as a member of the Southwest Division. Retiring in February of 2018, he returned to Southwest as a reserve officer, volunteering for countless hours. With an outstanding work ethic, assisting community members and department employees at the detective front desk. And from Harbor area, we have Reserve Officer Craig Hart. He enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2008, served with the 82nd Airborne Division, re-enlisted in 2015, was assigned to recruiting duty in Long Beach, and at the same time also joined the Reserve Corps. He sets an example for others to follow, volunteering for over 578 hours last year working patrol, special details such as cadet program, National Night Out, Special Olympics, Torch Run, and Baker to Las Vegas. And he soon will apply for a full-time position as a police officer with the department.
He could not make it this evening, but we honor him tonight.
From Southwest area, we introduce to you Level 1 Reserve Police Officer Brian Hubbard. Although his career path took him in a different direction, he always wanted to be part of the LAPD and joined the reserve for 4 years after fulfilling his dream. He has worked the field in both Southeast and Hollywood divisions during special events and has dedicated himself to making Southeast a better place for its residents and businesses with a strong work ethic and donating many hours each month. From 77th Street area, we have Reserve Officer Stephen Robinson. For 4 years at 77th, he has consistently exhibited a passion to protect and serve the community. Steve continues to maintain numerous patrol shifts, over 400 hours last year alone, while also working other divisions as he has now created a foundation raising funds to provide police officers in 5 geographic locations with additional equipment, training, and skills. For his time and effort, plus financial support, he has shown that he has a heart to protect and serve those who protect and serve. And Officer Robinson, please remain with us for your dedication and commitment to the department. You have also been named the Reserve Officer of the Year for South Bureau.
Police Officer 3A Mike Yee and RPO 3A Gerardo Salazar. They both entered the Corps in 2009, beginning with the Valley Bureau and transferring to Central in 2011. For the last 4 years, they've contributed countless hours assisting the Central area detectives in reducing the ever-increasing backlog of cases. After receiving specialized training and updating the detectives' databases, they have spent many hours contacting and interviewing crime victims, displaying immense empathy, helping to ease the victim's anxiety and frustration. This dedication and teamwork continues to free up detectives for more complicated investigations and they have been continually commended by their superiors for their efforts. Great job, Reserve Officers here at Salazar. Dr. Michael Scoggins is a Level 3 Reserve Officer. Currently employed in the County of Los Angeles, Department of Children and Family Services, he has been an outstanding reserve for 27 years, mostly with the Hollenbeck area. He's conscientious and caring, offering to work extra hours whenever needed. Unfortunately, he also was unable to be with us tonight. From Northeast, we have Reserve Officer Level 3, Gregory Canino. For the past 4 years, he's worked various assignments, supervising juvenile offenders assigned to community service. He's participating in community events from summer night lights to toy giveaways and Special Olympics torch run. Most recently, with his positive energy and willingness to work many hours, he's been helping Northeast detectives with follow-ups, plus teaching a class with the Northeast Cadet Program. Reserve Officer Level 3, Rogelio Cuevas. For the past 10 years, he has been a Senator in the Youth Division, working mostly with the Cadet Program, spearheading the Youth Cadet Running Program, instilling discipline, leadership, and life skills in the lives of hundreds of cadets. He was out of town tonight, but we thank him for his service. From Rampart, we have Reserve Officer Level 3A, Virginia Hernandez. She has served the Los Angeles Police Department for over 22 years, working closely with community relations, assisting in events, supporting the area detectives, and ensuring that sex offenders have properly registered and are meeting the expectations set forth by PC 290. Recently, she's been utilizing her professional skills as a licensed clinical social worker to mentor youth in Rampart area middle schools through a community partnership project with the Youth Policy Institute on a human trafficking prevention curriculum. And Officer Hernandez, please stay with us as your dedication, commitment, and work ethic and countless donated hours each year. You have also been selected as the Central Bureau Reserve Officer of the Year.
Next up is the West Bureau. For the Wilshire area, we have Level 1 Reserve Officer Alton Jones. He's joined the Corps as a Tech Reserve in 1985. Was assigned to Wilshire, working the front desk, community relations, and assisting the vice unit. 2.5 years later, he joined the LAPD on a full-time basis, achieving the rank of Police Officer 3 Training Officer. Jones eventually returned to the private sector, but stayed on as a reserve in 1999. He returned to Wilshire. He has been working patrol detectives and vice since then, doing a recent fires assistant to command post in the Valley Bureau with local mandatory evacuations. Olympic area has nominated RPO Gilberto Legaspi as their Reserve of the Year. With 3 small children and a career in real estate, he still found time to join the LAPD Reserve Corps in 2015. First assigned to Central and then transferring to Olympic. He has tirelessly donated his time working patrol, crime task forces, festivals, parades, and other special events. He's a mentor for the Reserve Program, coordinates orientation meetings, and has taken it upon to grow the Olympic Reserve Program by recruiting 4 new reserves himself. RPO 3 Elaine Lomas started as civilian volunteer in West LA Detective Division. Volunteering for over 20 hours a week to assist with auto crimes and various administrative duties, she felt limited as a volunteer. With a newfound passion to investigate, she applied to become a reserve officer just 6 months ago. Now graduated, she is performing as a police detective. She recently investigated a burglary, recognized 3 suspects from prior cases on surveillance video, built the case, met with the DA, and obtained a felony filing and arrest warrants for these 3 suspects. Pacific area has nominated Level 1 RPO John Provakis. Joining reserve in 1985, he has now accepted the role of Reserve squad leader, keeping the unit on task with training, meetings, and upcoming staffing needs. Working with patrol, special details, area youth programs, the Cadet Leadership Academy, and numerous special events, he gives many hours a week. Although a full-time business owner, Reserve Officer Bravakis is one of the most dependable, dedicated, and conscientious reserve officers in the program.
Hollywood is mine, sorry. From Hollywood area, we have Level 1 Reserve Officer Michael Sellers. Graduating in 1993, assigned to Hollywood since 1994, his first 12 years were exclusively with Hollywood Patrol. Continuing to expand his leadership roles, he completed the instructor development course and since utilized what he learned to teach others. In 2008, he became the editor-in-chief of The Rotator, the newsletter of reserve officers. In 2009, he was elected to the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation's board of directors, and since 2013 has served as co-president of the foundation with Carla Hansen. And Officer Sellers, remain with us as you take home the West Bureau's Reserve Officer of the Year honors. Most recently, in cooperation with the LAPPL, developing a legal defense plan reimbursement which benefits reserve officers and their families. So, thank you all for serving us so well for these many years. The department and the city truly appreciate your commitment. Now, before we all take a short break for dinner service, I have to follow up with Carla's request. See, here she comes. Early in the evening, there are envelopes, if you haven't noticed them, on your table. We need each one of you to fill one out, okay? You can give $1,000. You can give $25. Every dollar is going to help the Reserve Foundation keep this wonderful scholarship program. And we've just got to give out at least 4 scholarships again next year. So officers are about to visit you all on tables. Please give generously. They are packing, okay?
All right, you better fill those envelopes, I'm telling you. There's a lot of pressure up here. Make sure we get it done. A reminder, too, that we have 10 great items in tonight's raffle. From a great 4-pack of Angels tickets to a weekend in Las Vegas and theater tickets. We'll have the volunteers do one last round so you can buy more tickets. After dinner, we have a live auction coming up as well. We hope you saw the display in the silent auction area, and a list is on your table as well. We are auctioning a ride for 2 on the Goodyear Blimp, a day with an LAPD SWAT, an opportunity for 2 to ride in the LAPD airship, and 4 premiere screening tickets for the upcoming Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, July 13th. Trying to strategize your bidding, so we got some great items out there. Go out again, take a look at them, you know what they are. You have until 8 o'clock to bid on the silent auction. Be sure to check your bids while dinner is being served. Now enjoy your dinner, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. Outside, make your way to the tables, please. We gotta raise some money here. Let's go.
That's in order. Sit down.
Law and order.
Rookie, come on. All right, we're gonna get this started. People, sit down, shut up, let's do this thing. We have great, amazing
want to get her mad. You really don't. All right, folks, just a few more people to get to their seats. Please make your way to your seats, and let's kind of keep it a little bit quiet so we can hear some of these great prizes that we have to auction off.
We have got somebody here, one a famous auctioneer. Thank God she's doing it because I've done it and it is not easy. And she's an expert. So, Kelly, where can we bring up Miss Kelly Nelson? Here she is. Big round of applause for Kelly Nelson. She's going to help us with this auction tonight. All right, Kelly, to help you out, Daryl and I are going to read what each item is, and with a few rules, regulations, and you can do your magic, okay? Yo! You gotta take a mic.
I'm wearing a push-up bra.
I know.
I can't get any higher.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Don't make me hold my breath this long. All right, are we ready in the back corner? Are we ready in the back corner? I want to hear it. Come on. Come on. Are we ready in the back corner over there? Yeah. We don't want to have to do a sweep this soon. All right, that's what I want, Amy.
All right. Item number one. This is a fantastic first item. We're calling it a cultural package for the theater and museum lover to know that this room is full of them. First, it's 4 tickets to the Amundsen, which is where they have all those big shows, the Broadway shows that come through. They're amazing productions. 4 tickets to the Mark Taper Forum, where they have incredible new shows, and 4 for the Kirk Douglas, where they do incredible major stuff and it's in Culver City. They're all good until July of 2020, so you have plenty of time to do them. Thank you to our upcoming schedule, Swan Lake, Book of Mormon. If you haven't seen it, that's hilarious. So many others to choose from. Then, it's an after-hours tour of LACMA. That's the LA County Museum of Art. For 6, VIP admission, good until December 2020. And the private tour for 10 for the new Peterson Automotive Museum and access to the very sacred vault. If you have not been there, you have to go. We're talking about hundreds of cars, automobiles, cars that you have never seen before. And with the chief historian, Leslie Kendall, leading this, you'll see all the unique and rare autos in this hall. Nobody else gets to see them. Value is priceless for these behind-the-scenes tours. You can't pay for them. It's only here. But their tickets alone are worth $1,500. So let's start the bidding at 500. What?
Let's start her up. First of all, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because I'm flattered and I'm honored to be in this room with all of you and here for the reserves. I thank you. And to the board and the presidents. Thank you both. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night, so let's get the party started. All right, let's go to the theater. I'm looking for a bid about 5. How about a bid about 5? I got $500 on a bid, about a $500 bid. Look for 7. $700 bid, about a $700 bid. How about a bid about 7? Bid about 7 right there. How about 9? Look for a $900 bid, about a $900 bid. How about a bid about 9? Bid about 9. I'm looking for a $900 bid. I got 900 in the front. I'm looking for 11. How about a bid about 11? $1,100 bid, about $1,100 bid. How about a bid about 11? I need $1,100 bid. How about a bid about 11? A bid about 11. I need 11. I need 11. I'm looking for 13. How about a bit about 13? 13. Looking for a bit about 13. How about a bit about 13? $1,300 bid about a $1,300 bid. How about a bit about 13? Looking at 13. 1300. Come on. $1,300 bid about. You realize how many seats?
The value of the tickets alone is $1,500.
I'm looking for 13. You got 6 tickets.
Good seats, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
And the Peterson, you get a private behind-the-scenes tour, and also the LA County Museum of Art. You'll get the director to take you privately at night underground to the museum.
What a package. What a package. I'm looking for 13. 1,300. How about a bit about 13? $1,300. I'm looking for got 13. God bless you. $1,500 bid about $1,500 bid. How about a bit about 15? $1,500. 15. I said 15. Let me see some hands. $1,500 bid, about a $1,500 bid. How about 15? I'm at 13. I need 15. $1,500 bid, about a $1,500 bid. How about a bid about 15? 15? Do I see 15? How about 15? That's just tickets.
4 Broadway show tickets.
4
plus 8 other tickets.
The Kirk Douglas, the Amundsen, and the Taper.
And private tours, the Peters and the Amundsen. Come on.
I'm looking for 15.
15.
I'm just looking for 15. $1,500 bid, about a $1,500 bid. How about a bid about 15? 15. I need 15. 1500. It's gonna go. $1,500 bid. Going once, going twice. We're at 13. Right? 15. We're going. So we got 13.
13. 13. Where are we?
All right, somebody has got a sweet, sweet package at the beer.
All right, folks, we're going to get going here with prize number 2. Let's get it a little bit quieter in here so everybody can focus on what we're doing and get everybody's attention. First thing I want to do, let's everybody raise their hands. I want to make sure everybody's arms are working so they can bid on some of these prizes. All right, it's working. I like to see it. That's your exercise for the day. All right, prize number 2. This is truly a unique experience. Who can say they've been flying around the LAPD air support helicopter as it patrols the skies and freeways of Los Angeles? Maybe one of those ridiculous car chases, or check out the beach, or fly over your own home. You never know what you're going to see there. You'll even get, you said they on a tour air support. Learn what they do all day flying their machines. Done while your flight uniform, and then it's up, up, and away. This is a package for 2, not just 1. 2 people. What a great way to go on a date. 2 people on a mutually agreed upon date. Thank you to the LAPD Air Support. All right, Kelly, let's get it going.
Starting at a $1,000 bid. We need a $1,000 bid for air support. Got 1,000. I need 12. I need 12. I got 12. I got 14. I got 14. I love it. 14. I need 15. How about a bid? I got 15 in the back. I need 17. How about a bid about 17 in the front? I need 19. $1,900 bid. About a $1,900 bid. How about a bid? I got 19 in the front. Lineman. Whoa. I need 21. I need 21. $2,100 in the back. I need 23. How about a bit about 23? 23. Don't get more 23. Can I get? I got 21 back there. I need 23. What a deal. 23 in me. How about a bit? I got 23 in the front. 25. I need a bit about 25. $2,500 bid. About a $2,500 bid. How about I got 25? 20. I need 27. How about a bid about 27? Only $200 more. $2,700 bid. About a $2,700 bid. How about a bid about 27? I need 2,700. 27. How about 29? My God, to be 29 again. 29 bid. About 29 bid. How about a bid? I'm over here at 27. I'm looking for 29. How about a bid about 29? 29. I'm looking for a bid about 29. 29. 29. I need 29. 29 in the back. Come on now. How about a bid about 29? $2,900 bid. I'm looking for $2,900 bid. How about a bid about 29? 29. I got 27. Where do we have the 27? Who did 27? You got 27. Boy, you got it. All right, he's up the front 27.
Chief, what if both of these parties agreed to pay $2,600 each? Can we double this?
We do that, Chief. Sit. Let's really talk to the boss. Cindy.
All right, he said yes. You guys game? 2 buyers.
We got 2. We have 26. We got 26. 26, and I got 26 back. Who's my 26 in the back? Where's my 26? All right. You got a deal. 26 and 26. Atta girl.
for 4 people. Take family, friends, or just use it for business. First up, we have great seats for 4 to an upcoming LA Dodgers game versus the dreaded San Francisco Giants. That game being on June the 18th. Also includes parking. After that, we have a luxury suite seating for 4 in the KMPG suite to a 2019-2020 season LA Kings game, plus luxury suite seating for 4 to a 2019-20 season LA Clippers game. Both sets of suite tickets at Staples Center will be sharing the suite with other guests for a mutually agreeable date, including parking, thanks to KMPG. So if you love sports, find your wallets, and let's start bidding, Kelly.
All right, we're starting off at 500. It's a great starting bid. Don't even 10 people should put their hand up right now. Starting at 5. Who will give me a 5? I need 5. There's my 5. $500 bid. That's $700 bid. About a $700 bid. I'm looking for 9. $900 bid. About a $900 bid. How about a bid? About 9 bid. About a 9. I need 9. $900 bid. I need $900 bid. Wonderful. $1,100 bid. How about $1,100 bid? About $1,100 bid. How about a bid? About 11 bid. About 11. I need $1,100 bid. $1,100 bid. 1100. Such a little number. $1,100 bid. How about $1,100 bid for that big package? It's a marvelous sports package. Oh, did I say? Oh, okay. You know what? I'm looking. $1,100 bid is what I'm sniffing out here. How about a bid? About 11 bid. About 11. I need $1,100. I need $1,100 bid. About $1,100 bid. How about a bid? About 11. I need a little bit about 11. A little bit about 11. $1,100 bid.
Okay, how about we sweeten the Kings package a little bit? Your visit when you come to the LA Kings game, you can come up and sit in a radio booth alongside myself and Hall of Famer Nick Nixon. Put a headset on. You can listen to the period with us, and maybe we'll sweeten it up with a player signed stick. So let's go now. Find your wallets, folks. Come on.
We're at 9. I need 11. You smart man. $1,100 bid. I got 11. I'm looking for 12. I'm 12. I don't want to be 12, but I do for reserves. $1,200 bid. About $1,200 bid. How about a bid? About 12 bid. About 12. I need $1,200 bid. $1,200. It's only $100 more. That's it. What? 100. I got it back there. 12. At 12. Can I have 13? Oh, 13. I'm the one. $1,300 bid in the back. I got a $1,300 bid. Now I'm looking for 14. Just a little 14. 2 sevens make 14. How about a bid about 14? 14. I got a $1,400 bid. Great. Let me have 16. Let me have 16. $1,600 bid. About a $1,600 bid. How about a bid about 16? Come on, get your hands out in your pocket and in the air. I'm looking for 16. $1,600 bid. How about a bid? $1,600 bid.
Yeah.
$1,600 bid. Let's be gentle. $1,700.
You might see history at one of those sporting events. You never know what you're going to see. A great experience out there.
1,700. I'm looking for 17. I got 16. I need 17. I need 17. 17. How about it? About 17. 17. I need 17. Who give me 17? I need a $1,700 bid. About $1,700 bid. How about a bid? How about a bid? About 17. Just 17. You can't hardly take anything legal home at 17 anymore. I got 17. Thank God. 17. How about 18? 18, we're getting legal. $1,800 bid, I'm looking for 18. How about an 18? 1,800. 18, I'm at 17. 1750. How about 1750? All right, we'll go once. You going twice? Sold.
Congratulations.
What a great deal. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you.
All right, package number 4. This is a great one. I don't know how they auction this off. It's a ride for 2 on the Goodyear blimp. Oh, it's truly a unique experience. How many people, by show of hands, have been on a Goodyear blimp before? That means a lot more people need to experience it. All right, it's a ride for 2 on the Goodyear blimp. Experience for 2, you drive down to Carson location, go up, and away on the Goodyear blimp. We probably don't need to describe what we've all seen being over a stadium or on television. It usually holds about 8 people. Your ride will be for 30 to 60 minutes, subject to prevailing winds and all that. We've listed that you must be 21 years of age or older, and that is not the case. We just need one of you to be 21 years of age or older, so you can take a child. What a great treat for the kids, preferably 5 or older. As chance to second guess. You'll have to sign a release. That's pretty standard. Trip on a Goodyear blimp. Kelly, take it away.
This has never happened before that we have this is so cool. Actually, my favorite one. Favorite one, the blimp. Let's go. I'm looking for $1,000 for a big flight. How about a bid about 1,000? Got $1,000 bid. Good. I got $1,000. I'm looking for 12. I'm looking for $1,200 bid for that. Come on now. Come on, 12. Where am I at 12? 1,200. Oh, at the same table. $1,200 bid. How about 14? Come on now. You can do it. $1,400 bid, about $1,400 bid. How about a bid about 14? 14, come on, 14 in the back somewhere. $1,400 bid, $1,400 bid. Come on, I need 14. Okay, 14. I need 16. Don't, right side, don't move the left side, take it up. $1,600 bid, come on. $1,600 bid, about a $1,600 bid. How about a bid about 16 in the back? I got 16 in the back. 16 in the back. 17, just 17. How about 17? $1,700 bid, about a 17. Who give me 17? How about a bid about 17? I need $1,700 bid, $1,700 bid, that's it. Let me have 18. Come on now. $1,800 bid, about 1800. 1800 $1,800 bid. How about a bid about 18? Oh, you're all out of it. Don't let it get you like that. Don't let it get you. It just takes 18. Come on now. $1,800. I'm looking for $1,800, that's all. It's the reserves. Come on, I got 18 in the back. Woo! Let's go. Come on now, 19. Let's do 19. We can do 19. 19. How about a bit about 19? I need a bit about 19. Come on now, 19. $1,900 bid. I got a 19 up here. 19 is good. Let me hear 2. Let me see 2. I need $2,000 bid. Come on, $2,000 bid. How about a bit about 2? Bid about 2. I need $2,000 bid. How about a bid over there? Nobody wants to go fly in the blimp. $2,000. That's it. 2,000. 2, you can split it so it's 1 and 1. Come on. How about a bit about 2? Bit about 2. This is it. Going once. 2. We're at 18. 19. Got 19 in the back. No. Here we go. Going once. Going twice. Sold for 19. $500 bid, about a $500 bid. Who will give me $500 bid? I need 5. That's it. $500 bid, about 5. 5, thank you, darling. $700 bid, about $700 bid. How about a bid about 7? I need $700 bid, about $700 bid. How about a bid about 7? Bid about 7? $700 bid in back. $700 bid. Give me 9. Give me 9. $900 bid. That's it. $900 for this experience is fabulous. I should have went for thousands. We went $3,000, $3,600 last year. We're at 900. I need a $900 bid, about a $900 bid. How about a bid about 9? Bid about 9? I need a $900 bid, about a $900 bid. Up 900 bid. Thank you, darling. Let me have 11. Let me have 11. 11. I take 11 reserves with me if I could. $1,100. I need $1,100. How about a bid about 11? I need $1,100 bid, about $1,100. I love it when, God, I love it when people whistle at me. Cat calls. Come on. 11. How about 13? Let's go with 13, Amy. Let me have 13. $1,300 bid, about a $1,300 bid. How about a bid about 15? Bid about 13. 13. I need 13. Who give me 13? Come on, cat calls. I need 13. I Wow.
says it's good.
She says it's good. She is the best. Don't such a good guy. In Los Angeles. We got 2 for 12. Do I have 12? I got 12. And where's my other 12? Where's my other 12? Get Gil? 12. Honey, wait, you know, a lot of men whistle for me. You gotta. Come on now. Is my 12 back there? All right, 2 for 12. We got 2 for 12. Thank you in the back. And thank all of you.
All right, this one, last but not least, we're almost there. This is pretty amazing, something you absolutely cannot buy. Everyone knows the Fast and Furious film shirt franchise, right? Well, this item is 4 tickets to the premiere in Hollywood of Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, starring Dwayne Johnson, David Stratham, 2 sworn enemies. They first faced off in 2015's Furious 7. Their duo has been swapping smack talk by blows since then, taking each other down. It opens August 2nd, but the premiere screening at this point tentatively scheduled for July 13th in Hollywood. You need to contact Universal within 30 days to guarantee your tickets. And big thanks to NBC Universal for this great opportunity. If you haven't been to a movie premiere, this is the one you want to go to. 4 tickets to the premiere of the Fast and Furious.
Okay. I just want to say 2 things. Fast, furious. Right? And I'm not talking about the things we're not supposed to talk about tonight. But you come in now. Come on now. We got to rally. This is it. We're going to do this fast and we're going to do it furious. Let's go. $500. It's an easy one. $500 bid about a $500 bid. How about 5? I need 5. He's fast. Now I need furious. How about 7? I need a $700 bid. About a $700 bid. How about a bid at 7? 7. How about a 9? We're doing this easy. 9. How about a $900 bid? It's easy to come in at 9. Come on, 9. $900 bid. About a $900 bid. I got a 9 in the back. I need 11. I need 11. $1,100 bid. About $1,100 bid. How about a bid about 11? I need a bid about 11. I need a bid about 11. I need a. This side over here is neither fast nor furious. Now, come on now. Why don't you eat naughty? Fast and furious. I'm looking for. Where am I now? For God's sakes. Where was I? Nobody even knows. 9. Oh, 9. How about 9? That's what we do.
This is going to be the premiere screening. It's not necessarily a premiere, but it's the first time anybody's going to be seeing it. It's got tons of celebrities.
Somebody wants to bid 9. I feel it. 9? Oh, we got it. You're up. Okay, we're going for 1,000. That's it. 1,000. 1 triple O. How about a bid about 1,000? I need a bid about 1,000 over here. I feel it. $1,000 Fast and Furious. Come on. $1,000 bid. How about a bid about 1,000? How about giving you a bid about $1,000 bid? How about a bid about 1,000? How about a bid about 1,000? $1,000 bid on it. Come on, 9. I just need 1,000. 1,000 for the premiere tickets. All right. 1,000. $1,000. How about a bid about 1,000? A bid about 1,000. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go. We're gonna go with one. Going once. Going twice. Sold.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
All right, have a big hand for Kelly. Great job, Kelly. A lot of great on the range right there. Thank you to all that contributed in. All right, let's get on now with the announcement of the raffle winners. We'll make 10 of you are going to be very happy in the next little bit. They've given us a list of the winners pulled under the watchful eye of an LAPD officer. So if you hear your name or number, please check with the staff at the back of the room to get your items.
Does everybody have their raffle tickets? These are the blue ones. These are your blue raffle tickets that you pay for. Here it comes. Everybody quiet so you can hear the number, please. Number
695. Are you out there? Okay, going once, going twice, and we're going to go to the runner-up. 1176985. Just the reverse. So if you were disappointed before, 1176985. Okay. Okay, we're just going to go to the next. Go to the next one.
All right, the next ticket, a huge basket of Blu-rays and DVDs from NBC Universal, valued at $260+, and the number is 1177139. All right, we got a winner here on the left. All right, congratulations. Come on up here to the stage, to the left of our stage, and claim your prize. Next prize is a 3-play flex pack subscriptions to LA Theater Works, valued at $350. Winning ticket is 1176711.
Speak up. Let's hear it.
Again, 1176711. All right, we're gonna stay ahead. Make your way to the stage. Come on up front. Come on up and claim it. All right, next one, a 3-day stay at the Hotel Monteleone in New Orleans, valued at $900. Winning ticket, 1176807. Who's going to New Orleans? 1176807. All right, you're halfway there already. Come on here. Come on back. Come on up to the front of the stage to claim your prize. Next, a 4-club house admission and valet parking at Santa Anita. Winning ticket is 2676709. 2676709. You're going to Santa Anita. One more time. 2676709. Tickets to Santa Anita. Admission and parking. Going once. Going twice. All right. We got 2676709. All right. We're going to pull 1177120. All right. Santa Anita's coming up. 8 passes.
We got access to 8 passes to Lemley Theaters, various locations, value $100. Here's the number, 1176819. Yeah, over there. Yeah, cool. Congratulations. Next up, a 5-class package from Beat by Tarzana, value $105. Number 2676890. 2676890.
Hey, Roger. Sir.
Yeah! All right! Excellent. Come on down. Oh my gosh. 4 unlimited ride passes to the Civic Park Santa Monica Pier. Value $132. 1176728. 1176728. Going to Santa Monica Pier. 1176728.
Is somebody coming up with that number? All right, we're going to the next. What? Was that screaming? Yes! All right, you get it. All right, gourmet dinner for two in the Napa Valley wine train. Oh, about $160. 1177128. That's 1177128. Yes! Are you 1177128? She gets specific order. Yay! But is anybody getting the gourmet dinner for two in the Napa Valley? 1177128. Going once, going twice. We're going to go to 267-7013. 267. Uh-oh. Oh, not Napa. Excellent. You were just quiet. And you were just fine.
I lost my little thing. All right, and the last prize, a two-night stay at the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. 1176875. Who's going to Las Vegas? 1176875. All right, last call for 1176875. Right here down front. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone, for your support. That was terrific. We raised a lot of money. We would like to ask the officers receiving awards from. You ready to go? Oh no, I'm sorry. We're still finishing up here. All right, we're just finishing up. Everybody got their prizes? Everybody ready to go? All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. We would like to ask the officers receiving awards from Specialized Division and Valley Bureau. We have not forgotten about you. Please head to the lobby and check in. Specialized Division and Valley Bureau. To the lobby now. All right, our next segment here, folks, we need to have your attention. We're so close to the end, but this is really important stuff. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, and officers, we're here to honor these reserve officers who've done and people supporting them. This is the big moment, we're getting there, we're so close. The next segment is called the Twice a Citizen Award. Each year the foundation chooses outstanding individuals who, beyond their own career achievements, have contributed greatly to the community, are outstanding role models, and have genuinely supported law enforcement. So let's please welcome back Chief Michael Moore and our friend and tonight's dinner chair, Ms. Tracy Hernandez.
Good evening. This is the best part of the night. Every part is the best night, but we're here right now, so let's get going. David Fleming. friend for the ages. And tonight he becomes the LA Police Department Reserve Foundation Twice a Citizen. I first met David Fleming in 2003. I was named the publisher and CEO of the LA Daily News. And no kidding, the very day the story ran on the newspaper and announced me as taking helm of the newspaper, I received a call from someone named David Fleming. He introduced himself and he welcomed me to the community. And then he said, I'd like to offer to open any doors that you may need. No kidding, any doors that I might need. And I asked my staff, who is this guy? Are you kidding me? Sounds like someone I either need to know or stay very far away from. And they said, no. They assured me he was a solid citizen. Not yet twice a citizen, but a solid citizen. A true person of his word, well-connected, and that he truly cared about LA and the Valley in particular. He's a modern-day civic cheerleader, they told me. So, who is it? Who is this get-it-done cheerleader who now could qualify to be honored by the famous LAPD Reserve Foundation? Well, let me tell you, Dave was admitted to the California bar 6 years ago after being, and get this, he was the first graduating class from UCLA Law School. And since then, he has positively impacted the lives of Angelinos through his dedicated and bold service. And no kidding, over the years, he's been on 15 government boards and commissions at all levels. And Chief Moore is trying to take the attention for a moment. Yes, he's very excited. He was so shaky to get big before he almost dropped it, but that's all right. So Dave, on these boards, he served on federal, state, county, and city, and then more than 25 civic, charitable, and nonprofit boards. And of course, many of them he didn't just serve, he chaired them. Of course, my very favorite being that he was the founding chair of the Los Angeles County Business Federation, or BizFed, woo! 12 years ago, he had this real crazy idea. And somehow he thought the business community, so that's employers of every size, out of every industry, across the entire LA County, all 88 cities, could somehow set aside their self-interest, unite, and have a strong voice in public policies that would result in a dynamic, livable place for all of us. Oh sure, simple. All we had to do was get those who naturally and fiercely compete with each other every day for customers, for members, for brand, for projects, for community impact, and somehow get them all to stand side by side and share in timely intelligence with each other, not hold it for ourselves, but share it with each other, and then get each other's back through great jeopardy to speak with a loud, bold, united voice to government officials who can tax, regulate, approve, or stop our projects and permits. I thought he was absolutely nuts, as did everyone else. But he said, let's just take a page out of organized labor's playbook. They're really good at this. He said, there's no need to invent the wheel. There's a labor fed, and it exists, and they got through their own complexities. They organized 300 different labor unions, and they're smart. They get their agendas adopted, they get outside their own shields, and they come together too. So, by Dave's unorthodox mental calculator, he says employers large and small can do the same thing. And that's how my Dave Fleming operates. He sees a vision, he plants seeds with those who can and will do the work. Here's the craftiness in his thinking, because then he gets out of the way and he lets it happen. Of course, today we have done the impossible in a short period of time. 180 of the top excellent business organizations are all united in this one BizFed. We have 400,000 businesses, 400,000 companies just in the greater LA area, we're employing 3.5 million people, and together we work boldly, we engage with our lawmakers for policies that will yield a truly thriving California economy. Of course, this booming economy is because BizFed started 12 years ago. You can say thank you, Dave. David Fleming identifies the challenge and he speaks up. He doesn't care if people think he's crazy. He said, let's just get it done. Now, in his bio, you'll see many of the boards he's chaired and the appointments he's achieved, but I'd like to mention a few. He chaired Valley Presbyterian Hospital for not 1 term, not 2 years, 3 or 4, 25 years. He was the chair of the hospital. He and Jean have a building named after him now, so that worked out good for the hospital. He chaired the Valley Economic Alliance. He was the starter of that as well and chaired it for 16 years right after the Northridge earthquake to bring everyone together to restore the valley. And he's chaired the LA Chamber of Commerce, LA Town Hall, the city's Board of Fire Commissioners. And then a couple years ago, along with Governor Pete Wilson, he co-chaired the Southern California Leadership Council. He actually has served on the board of the LA Police Foundation. Yay. He was on the LA Fire Foundation, Metropolitan Transportation Authority, Metropolitan Water District, the Judicial Procedures Commission, and many, many more. Now personal side, he's married to the love of his life. Her name's Jean Fleming. She's a lovely actress, a model, and a film director. We wish she could be here tonight, but we'll send kisses to Jean at home. He's retired from his law firm now, but was at Latham & Watkins for a good long while. 3 years ago, he retired, and now he serves as senior advisor to the majority leader of the California State Senate, and though everyone knows Bob Hertzberg. They're an interesting and strange dynamic duo, but they're getting a lot done in the state. But most of all, most vital to me, is Dave introduced me to Randall Hernandez. And a few years later, I married him. So, had a huge impact in my life. Dave is my inspirational, trustworthy, visionary, and pragmatic friend. We celebrated his 75th and his 80th birthdays in my backyard. And this very September, we're going to do it again for his 85th year young. Please help me and Chief Moore to welcome Dave to receive his award as twice a citizen.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. Tracy's my hero. I mean, it's easy to have an idea, but to put it really in motion takes somebody that really has tried a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and brains. That's Tracy. In fact, she came up with this pin idea, and she said, I want you to wear that everywhere. I have it on my nightshirt. No, it's not got a pin, it sticks. Anyway, these kind of awards remind me of a guy that I had the privilege of knowing. He's passed on now. He was one of the greatest comedians ever. His name was Jack Benny. And I had the opportunity to be with him a couple of times. And once he was getting an award like this, I'll never forget it. He got up to the microphone and he says, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know I really don't deserve this award. And there was a long pause. But then again, I got arthritis and I didn't deserve that either. You know, we go out of our way, and should, to say members of the armed services, when they see that they're in uniform and we see at an airport or a restaurant or whatever, we go up, shake their hands and say, thank you for your service. And I'm thinking we ought to do the same thing for our police in uniform. And look, these folks run into danger. These folks protect us night and day, bringing themselves into harm but protecting every person in this city. Nobody could have a bigger calling, a greater calling in the Los Angeles Police Department. God bless them. And God bless you. Thank you.
What do you want to do next?
I figured out what you know.
You want to die? No. But honestly, have I really lived? This bank robbery is the most sad thing that's happened to me in a lot of years.
You're about to hit the street with a loaded handgun and no idea what happens next.
You're in a car! I can handle unicorns, alright? This is what we train for. Go get him, bro.
Do you think this is a joke?
No, man. I'm here to work and hold lay down. I don't like you, Officer. No, I hate what you represent. A walking midlife crisis. And that will get my people killed.
I thought taking control of that was going to look pretty good. You made a mistake.
Show me what you got.
There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over.
So how do you do?
He dove right in, even though there was a knife. I think there's value in having a rookie with this perspective. He deserves a chance.
I thought I had to become someone else to do this job. That what it was before wasn't good enough. I earned my place here, and I'm not leaving. I became a cop to help people, not kill them.
What happens next? You'll change both of our lives.
You tired, officer? No.
No, man.
Good, because we got 8 hours left on our shift.
So what do you think of the show? Always amazed by how much you can get done on television in 4 hours. 28 minutes and 3 commercials. But in this series, Officer John Nolan is the oldest rookie in LAPD, and we actually have a couple of those here tonight that are sworn members of the organization. One of them was the inspiration for the series. If you could stand. Let's get this stand. I also met a few minutes or a couple hours ago a young man, 50 years of age, who's currently in our academy. And he's the squad leader for Squad 3 of February the 2019 class. The 77th volunteer who impressed the then Captain Bobby Arcos, who is now Assistant Chief. But that man found his way into our academy, and I look forward to saluting him as he graduates on August 11th. And thank you again for example of what America loves, which is a story about heart and about living for something bigger than yourself. And there is no greater department for Hollywood to try to mirror that and show and tell that story than LAPD. As we go about telling that story, I want every member of this organization to know that they're talking about the Reserve Corps as well. And that's why it's such an honor tonight to recognize a man who, as an actor, but also as an individual, portrays a person with heart and humility. He's busy, he's got a lot going on. You've seen him in all types of movies, Fireflies. Believe me, I don't watch a lot of television, so forgive me. I'm reading this from the prompter. Firefly, One Life to Live, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that's really right on my list. I gotta get to that one. Now, most recently, I have seen Castle, I have seen moments of it. But it also makes a point to tell the community. This is what struck me, is why he's so deserving tonight. It's easy to play a character. What I'm always amazed by is to meet the man behind the character or the woman, and his support for the need for kids to read, to provide thousands of books to underfunded schools, libraries, and literacy programs across the country. Here's a man that has, as he's made a success, is paying it forward and going forward. He's also committed to providing clean water to millions of people around the world who just simply don't have it, through an organization called Charity Water. It is my pleasure to present the Twice a Citizen Award to the star executive producer of The Rookie, Mr. Nathan Gilman.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Chief Moore, everybody, thank you very much. As a chief, I'm sure he's wonderful. As a PR guy, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nathan Fillion. You may know me from such shows as Firefly or Castle or The Rookie. I'm thinking probably The Rookie. If you don't know me, that's okay. I'm probably a pretty big deal to your mom. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, officers, fellow rookies, it has been humbling, to say the least. The more I learn about this incredible endeavor you've embarked on, the more it terrifies me, and the more grateful I become for all of you for taking this on for the rest of us. Thank you very much. I'm embarrassed when I walk around this room, when I was outside having some drinks with some of you, the gratitude, the people coming up to me and thanking me for what we do, which is simply to entertain. But I want to say for what you do, for protecting us, for keeping us safe. Thank you.
Please stay up here with us for a few minutes. We've got another person to talk about, our second awardee, actually our third. By the way, I must give a time out. David Fleming, hero for the San Fernando Valley, a man who's been a staunch advocate for decades, brought the city to recognize that half of it's north of Mall, and that the city exists for the water that came to the city through that valley. And you're, as a pioneer and as an advocate, we haven't always agreed, but what's best is that you're a change agent and you make things happen. So God bless you, and congratulations tonight. Now, our next awardee is an individual who I understood met his wife while on the music tour. So something good came from that, which is really cool. But he soon found a different avenue to express himself. himself as he developed a passion for writing. Alexi Hawley has a gift for creating thought-provoking and character-driven shows. He's created State of Affairs, about a CIA operative who went to work for the first black woman president of the United States. Next up was The Unusuals, The Following, and Castle. The last two he's produced as well. Then came The Rookie, which he created, writes, and also executive produces. Of course, after working with Nathan and Castle, he found the perfect rookie and added a pretty realistic cast, which although they may still take small bits of liberties, or large bits of liberty, I'm still proud to have it associated with LAPD. And that is a hard task. So we appreciate that diligence to what our values mean and how to represent it to the people as you entertain them. One of the reasons the Reserve Foundation wanted to recognize the show is just the way it is written. And its main character, having been met with skepticism from higher ups, those are like us, who saw him as just suffering a midlife crisis. He has had to keep up with younger officers, but by using his life experience as rookie, his determination and sense of humor has given him an edge. So your writing, your producing, has led us into an understanding of what a new chapter can be. For our reserve officers, many of them who have careers, professions, standing on their own, they're coming into this profession of policing as reserve. There's a parallel here. So thank you for inspiring. Thank you for showing the path of what is possible as an individual, as a writer, as a producer, and as a human being. Please help me welcome Alex Hawley to the stage to accept the Twice a Citizen Award.
I'd like to say thank you to Chief Moore and the Reserve Foundation. This is a huge honor for us, and we're beyond grateful to receive it. And I'm assuming it will get me out of most minor felonies. Misdemeanor? No? Okay. Never mind. When I first got the call about creating The Rookie, I had no idea it would lead me here. What I did know was that it was the best way into a cop show that I had heard. The oldest rookie in the LAPD. Up until that point, I wasn't aware that becoming a police officer later in life was even a possibility. Right away, I knew three things. I wanted the show to look and feel like Los Angeles, all of Los Angeles, not just the familiar South Central, gang-centric view of the city that's been on the screen since the 90s. I also wanted to find an entertaining way to show what it's really like to be a patrol officer. Obviously, we take license, where we need to. But who else does a hip-hop montage about setting up your shop or processing an arrest? Finally, I really needed Nathan Fillion to come play our hero. Besides being one of the finest people I know and super handsome, I knew that he would humanize the show, and that's what the show is really all about. It's about reinvention, and I knew that he would humanize that. The show's about doing the bravest thing you can, which is make a change. John Nolan realized there was something important that he needed to do with his life, and he is risking everything to do it. No one exemplifies this same spirit more than you, the reserve officers. And like Nolan, you bring your unique life experience to the job. In television, we call it your superpower, because, well, TV is silly. But the point is, as a reserve officer, each of you enters the department with a different set of life skills. You have knowledge and intuition that a 20-something rookie doesn't. You leave your day job at the hospital or the office or as an influencer. You guys can gram on the job, right? No? Anyway. You make time in your already full lives to put on the uniform and safeguard the city, not for money, but because it's worth doing. There was a fourth thing I wanted to accomplish when I created this show, and that was to be aspirational. I didn't want anti-heroes. I wanted to populate the Rookie with police officers trying to do the right thing. Doesn't mean it's not hard, doesn't mean they don't fail or make mistakes, but Nolan and Talia, Tim and Lucy, Jackson and Lopez, Sergeant Gray, Captain Anderson, they all have a fundamental compassion that drives them for the people they protect, for people who've fallen on hard times or who struggle with mental illness. It's that same compassion that drove each of you to give back, and for that, you have our thanks.
Congratulations.
All right, again, congratulations to all the winners. Big hand for them again. All right, we're now back. We're going to recognize the Reserve Officers of the Year for the final two bureaus. We hope everyone from Specialized Division and Valley Bureau are now in the lobby and are about to be honored. Chief, if you're ready, let's begin. All right, first, from West Traffic, we recognize RPO Gary Becker. Officer Becker was a Level 1 Motor Reserve Officer for 14 years and an RPO for over 40 years. Officer Becker was a perennial and integral part of the Academy Awards, Motor Detail, the Sunshine Kids events, Tippecanoe, Special Olympics, and many others, representing the department across the city, state, and nation. He volunteered his time for more than 4 decades in countless events and was a model for the department's Reserve Office program. He suddenly, unexpectedly passed away on December 22nd, 2018. Reserve Officer Becker's wife, Kathy, daughter Jennifer, and son Jared will accept on his behalf. Thank you. Next up is Reserve Police Officer Ellen Conda for Central Traffic. Since 1988, she has worked the Cruiser Gang Task Force, Department of Transportation, Bandit, Cab Detail, and has been advisor for the Hollenbeck Explorers. She regularly functions as an officer in charge of the Reserve Involuntary Units. Her exemplary leadership, talents, and superior work ethic supporting DUI checkpoints, pedestrian crosswalk details, and the Cop for Tots car show. Among others, showcases her as an indispensable leader for CTD and the department. And for Major Crimes MCD, we have a face you've seen before. Reserve Officer Stephen Robinson. In 2018, he worked 400 hours on patrol and over 600 hours at the MCD. Currently, he works over 30 hours a week at Major Crimes while still maintaining his patrol shifts at 77. He is a high-functioning member of the Transnational Organized Crime Section. Participating in multiple investigations, he recently investigated a $1 billion crime scheme and serial arsons perpetrated by the Armenian Organized Crime Syndicate, developing and filing a conspiracy case involving bank fraud, grand theft, and ID theft. His efforts enable a larger case success by ATF, FBI, Homeland Security, and IRS. Now for GMD, Gang and Narcotics Division, we have Reserve Officer Dennis Wong, a member of the department since 1995. He worked 77th Division for the first 7 years and was selected to work Fugitive Warrant Section in 2003. Officer Wong has been assigned to FWS South Bureau for the last several years. His duties consist of verifying warrants and locating and arresting felony warrant suspects. His positive attitude and strong work ethic are unsurpassed and are highly welcome. Wong's investigative skills and dedication to duty encourages his peers to become more productive. Reserve Officer Level 3, Philip Icky, is now in Service Training Division nominee for 2018. He donated over 1,000 hours last year and has been a dedicated reserve officer for nearly 4 decades. He worked patrol at Central Traffic, Newton and Holbeck before becoming a firearms instructor in 2008. Running in service combat and bonus qualifications, reintegrations, and marksmanship workshops, teaching reserve and full-time academy classes, and more. His dedication, passion, and commitment to the department is invaluable and unparalleled. From Air Support Division, we have 2 honorees. First, Glenn Grossman has been an invaluable member of the LAPD since 1988. Currently serves as the Air Support Historian. He is the principal aerial photographer and responsible for photographing various missions and significant city events. He is an accomplished business owner in aerospace sector, yet he volunteers the countless hours necessary photographing events including SWAT, exercises, formation flights, the SoCal Public Safety Aviation Coordination Exercise, and all the wing ceremonies. Our second recipient, Air Support, is Reserve Officer James Miller. Each month he assists ASD with tower operations during night and morning hours to cover personnel shortages and review schedules in advance to ensure deployment minimums are met. In addition, each year he works over 60 hours a week during the ASD annual Tactical Flight Officer courses with 50 to 65 students and coordinates all the ride-alongs as well as supporting various other ASD events. And lastly, Commercial Crimes Division, we have Reserve Officer Patrick Yamba. He emigrated from Cameroon in 2003. He's a polylingual police supervisor in charge of operations West Bureau Crime Analysis Unit, appointed to the department in 2007. As a reserve officer, his work with CCD recently assisted with the celebrity burglary series that resulted in the arrest of 31 gang members, now facing 93 felony accounts. The CCD does not have a crime analysis detail, and Patrick handles research, analyzing and mapping crime trends and patterns, and assists in staff planning and deployment of resources. He is conscientious and proactive, always looking for ways to help detectives and respect with the LAPD and the crime intelligence analysis community. And Officer Yamba, please remain on stage for a moment. Your exceptional attention to detail, outstanding work ethic, crime and analysis expertise, and proven leadership also means that you've been chosen the Reserve Officer of the Year for the Specialized Division.
He has been associated with the VTD Reserve Program for 7 years, previously with Foothill, Devonshire, Topanga, and Van Nuys, with the Reserve Program for over 20 years. While currently maintaining a full-time job, he has volunteered hundreds of hours each year, assisting diligently at DUI checkpoints from set up to tear down, plus bringing his upbeat, outgoing attitude to work special event details such as the annual car show and the safety fair. He is a dedicated team player with a very positive attitude. West Valley area has selected Reserve Officer Cindy Benez as their recipient to recognize her 39 years of selfless commitment to the department. For 34 years, she was a full-time sworn member of the LAPD, retiring as a lieutenant too. She became a reserve officer upon her retirement in 2015 and assigned to West Valley Community Relations Office. She works many events throughout the year, allowing patrol officers to maintain their regular deployment. She is appreciated for her teamwork, positive work ethic, and outstanding commitment to bringing a calm, mature, and thoughtful approach to everything she does. North Hollywood recognizes Reserve Police Officer John McCarthy for over 30 years of dedicated commitment to LAPD, currently the North Hollywood community where he has been for over 2 years. RPO McCarthy has worked a variety of assignments with his inspirational and infectious work ethic, including patrol, narcotics, special events, and special detail task forces. He currently works 2 days a week assisting detectives with a theft table, allowing them to get criminals off the streets and into jail. He is also a vest fitting expert, conducting body armor vest fitting for personnel throughout the department. Our fourth hour recipient is with Foothill. Reserve Police Officer Gary Kennedy. RPO Kennedy has served for 20 years, displaying a strong eagerness to work and initiative to be proactive. He is reliable and respectful with integrity and good judgment. His hundreds of volunteer hours have been put to good use in traffic enforcement and identifying our most problematic areas related to traffic collisions, plus he engages in constitutional policing to its fullest. He has assisted both patrol and call load, plus supports many special events. And now, from Devonshire, we have Reserve Officer Craig Pfefferman. For 24 years, he has volunteered with the Reserve Program, beginning with Devonshire Foothill, the mission, returning now to Devonshire. He worked CRASH, which is a Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, CRASH, for 11 years. Currently, he works patrol 1 or 2 shifts a week, dedicated to making a difference in his community. His reputation, his reliability, and work ethic also made him an easy choice to recently be selected to join the new OVB Human Trafficking Task Force, which requires a substantial commitment from its officers. Thank you. Topanga has chosen Reserve Officer Steve Fazio as their recipient. A successful businessman, Steve joined the Reserve Program in 1981 to serve the community. Now a designated Level 1 Line Reserve Officer, in addition to working uniform patrol, he also works specialized task forces and plainclothes details and serves as a post-approved instructor at the police academy. Commendable, infectious, and friendly, he and his partner often handle as many as 14 radio calls in a shift, and can be found working 10 and 12-hour shifts twice a week at Topanga, pursuing his passion for crime suppression. A Level 1 Reserve Officer for 28 years, Craig Kusaba. RPO Kusaba has distinguished himself as a dedicated officer, earning the respect and admiration of both his peers and his supervisors. He regularly works with the detectives by serving subpoenas weekly, helps to repair control officers' equipment. He continually seeks out and attends many of the training sessions the department office offers to improve his knowledge and abilities. He is reliable and an invaluable member of the mission area. And Reserve Officer Kusaba, please remain as we have one more honor for you. For your willingness to always lend a helping hand, you are also the Valley Bureau Reserve Officer of the Year. Congratulations to all of you tonight for your contributions to our state.
Big hand for all the recipients tonight. Big hand for everybody. For our final award of the evening, Carla and Michael, please join us back on stage. And Chief, please stand by. You have been introduced to 30 reserve officers tonight. And from those, the Chief and Command Staff choose one who has been selected as a Reserve Officer of the Year for the department. They reviewed the time, commitment, dedication, and effectiveness on the job. After much discussion, they settled the question.
Well, as to our winner, we met him earlier. Actually, we met him twice. Please welcome back to the podium from 77th Station and Major Crimes, yes, Steve Robinson.
Okay, and while you're all here, we also have an additional recognition for Reserve Officer Robinson. Please welcome Mr. David Fryer from the board of the Parker Foundation. David.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. It's great to see so many familiar faces here supporting the 2019 Twice a Citizen celebration. I would like to thank Chief Michael Moore and the proud men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department for keeping this city the safest big city in the United States. I would also like to thank the Los Angeles Police Reserve Foundation Board of Directors and co-presidents Carla Amundsen and Michael Sellers for their dedication and passion on this unforgettable evening. On behalf of the board members from the William H. Parker Los Angeles Police Foundation, I would like to present the Bobby Sherman and Seymour Rosen Reserve Officer of the Year Award, which also includes a gift card to the LAPD Academy store. You are truly twice a citizen, Stephen J. Robinson.
Congratulations. Terrific. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our program, but we have one more thing to do. Thanks to Lapra, we have a gift certificate to the Revolver and Athletic Club. This is just for reserve officers. Hopefully you stayed. Each of your names was put to the bowl, and we were going to be drawing a name. And the winner is Jill. Would you like to draw the name? Here it goes. Jacqueline Frazier, R3035. Are you here, Jacqueline? Anybody know she's here? What? I don't hear her. We're going on. Okay, that's okay. Plenty more. Okay. James and Lisa McLaughlin? You're screaming. I think you're here. Congratulations. Now, pull out everybody pull out the door prize ticket you were given at your entry. That's the red one. Okay? All guests have a chance to win a great 55-inch smart TV. This is the number on the door prize ticket that you receive when you arrive. It's the red one. Read it? Want to call it? Where are you going to? I'm going to call it. You're going to read it. Oh, you need your glasses. Forget it. Okay. Here it is. Somebody got the number? Thank you. Number 543.
543 8039. 54380. Come on down. Who is it? Congratulations.
That side of the room, we came to life there when it counted. I want to take a little hardware. All right, before we conclude our program, we'd like to invite Reserve Officer Darla Cozzarelli to join us on stage to sing God Bless America.
And before as she comes up, do we owe our guests
Hey, hold one more big hand there for down there. Amazing job, thank you. Chief, it's really been an honor here to share the stage tonight with you, Amy, to be able to participate in this special event. And as a citizen and civilian of Los Angeles, I just want to express my gratitude to everybody for all they do and allow us to live the lives that we live here as safely as we do on a day-to-day basis. So, again, God bless everybody here. And to the Reserve Corps, the hours of dedication, you all continue to leave your jobs, homes, and families for several days and nights a month. It's truly commendable. Let's give them all another thank you and a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone.